Hey, what's up guys? Metaphor here, bringing you a class setup and my personal settings guide that I use. I've been meaning to do a settings video for a while now, but I just recently got a new computer and I wanted to wait until I figured out my settings on it before making one. First of all, I just want to go over my classes first, how they've changed since the last time I did this kind of a video, and what you can expect going into Season 5, what will be the best, unless there is a massive weapon overhaul. But typically, Infinity Ward takes a long time to change the weapons around, so I'm assuming that it won't be that different. And if it is, I will just make a new video. So, first things first, we're going to go through the classes. So obviously, you guys probably know about the Bruin being one of the most overpowered weapons in the game. The reason why it's one of the most overpowered weapons in the entire game is because it's a complete laser beam, it has very low recoil, and it has insane damage at range. So you're basically getting the old Grau, but more damage at the cost of mobility. But if you have a secondary on, you don't really lose out on anything. So right now I'm running Monolithic, the biggest barrel, Commando foregrip. This is preference. I'm using a holographic sight. A lot of people do VLK, and I don't think there's anything wrong with either one. It's whatever you want to do. I like using the holographic on this gun because I have the blue dot. It basically gives me the advantages of having a red dot sight, but I get to zoom in of a holographic, so I really like it. This challenge is really tedious though. Honestly, I don't recommend it. I don't recommend going for the blue dot, but if you are interested, then go for it. Obviously, the MP5 is still one of the best secondaries. There's a brand new gun, the FAL, that people are starting to use that rivals it as a secondary in some scenarios. For this class, I typically don't like running FAL plus another like assault rifle, so this says SMG on it. So typical MP5 setup, nothing really crazy there. EOD, overkill, amped. This is all standard. I mean, I know a lot of people like to take cold-blooded, but it's pretty bad. I'm a firm believer that all of the first tier perks are actually quite bad. Even EOD. I'm a firm believer that there's a lot of scenarios, or most scenarios, EOD doesn't actually change the outcome of the play. If you get direct impacted by an RPG, you're going to die anyway, and if not, if you're getting bombarded by explosives, it's hardly going to save you. The biggest time where the EOD will save you is when you're coming out of a down and someone throws like a C4 at you. That's like the best time that it'll actually save you. Amped because it's the best perk in the game. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then C4 heartbeat sensor for obvious reasons. Second class is basically the exact same as the first one, but it's an M4. So even though the Bruin is actually the best gun in the game right now, I personally don't actually use it that often. I only actually made this class because of the video. This is a class that like I would use if I was absolutely sweating and tryharding, but it's not my personal favorite thing to use. I do have some of those classes down below though. M4A1, this is a bit of a different build than what you'll see from most M4s. I have the default, like the stuff that everybody uses, but then I have Ranger foregrip on instead of Commando. And the reason why I have that is I feel like at long range, this actually helps me control the recoil a lot more than Commando foregrip does. Even though I lose out on some ADS speed, I feel like the gun just moves a lot less. And this is more of a, I'm using this more of like a cannon compared to the M4 that people use where they take Commando and Tac Laser. This is more of like a laser beam compared to maybe a gun that has a little bit more recoil, but it's not as accurate. So a little bit more recoil and like better stability. I prefer the full recoil control build. I think it's really, really good and completely underutilized. So yeah, rubberized foregrip and Ranger foregrip. And the rest is the same, so I don't have to go over that. This is a class that I would take. It's just my same MP5. This is just my second class, so I'll take Overkill my first class, and then I'll switch over to Ghost. And this is the same thing, except I'll switch over to Restock, so you'll notice that I have a stun grenade here. If I'm going Restock, I take a stun grenade. I'm not going to show the AK or anything, or the MP5, because those are just placeholder guns. Like I never actually use that gun right there, or this gun. I'll just use the one that's on my class. And now this is the FAL with the Bruin. I actually really think that this build on the FAL is the best. The reason why I think this is the best is most people will run Monolithic. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but I noticed that the gun seems to shoot faster when you don't have a silencer on it, so I take it off, and I go for more of an ADS build, so I can just get on target faster and just absolutely beam the fuck out of them. I think you could replace the Marksman barrel for one of these two barrels if you wanted to try that, but this is what I have on right now, so yeah, I think this is like the best way to build the FAL. It's different than what other people are doing, but if you're running into a room and somebody else has an FAL and you also have an FAL, you will win the fight if you have this build. If you can get, because you're just going to get on target before they will. You can also do no stock if you want. I don't think no stock is bad, but it just adds, there's just a lot of recoil with no stock, so whatever you want to do though. And then the Bruin is the exact same as one before, and then everything else is the same. Now this is a sniper loadout that I combined with the loadout underneath it. This is a sniper loadout without overkill, so nothing really crazy here. Pretty standard stuff with the sniper, monolithic, biggest barrel, tac, sniper scope, and the sport comb. The reason why I'm using the stock over stick with grip tape is because the stock is faster ADS, so. Pistol, I don't put anything on it because I don't ever use it. Like, I literally don't use it. I'll only take this class if I'm swapping to, like, let's say I'm using this class right here, and I want to pull out a sniper. Then I can pick up this class right here without taking overkill again and having a sniper rifle. So, and this is my other one. I think I had a class similar to this in the first video. This is just if I want to use an SMG. If I just want to use, this is purely the MP7, because the MP7 fits a really unique role in this game where it's good at close, mid, and long. So it's one of the only guns in the game where you can actually use it for everything. And then I just have an RPG as my secondary. I don't actually use this class that much, but it is one of my favorite in the entire game. So I'll pick up this class, and then when I get my second loadout, I'll usually go for the sniper loadout. And my MP7 attachments are these. Pretty standard, and I got obsidian. Right here is a sniper loadout. This is a sniper loadout that I would take at the start of a game. Now, right now I have an AUG on this, and you might cringe at this build, but this is just like a random build that I was doing. This isn't really that serious, but you can either put an MP7 on this or an MP5, and that's typically what I would run. I just forgot to change this, but AUG is fine too if you like the AUG. You just need a gun that's good at like close to mid, so MP5 is fine. MP7 is one of the best secondaries you can put on with the sniper rifle, but you know, the AUG is fine too. For perks, I have double time, overkill, and amped. Amped is the best. Double time, only reason why I have double time on is I don't slide cancel properly. If you slide cancel perfectly, you actually don't need to take double time. But if I'm sniping, EOD isn't that helpful for me because I'm usually going to be in a position where it's not going to matter. And double time will help me rotate to positions faster. Not faster, but, well, actually faster, yeah, because there's less downtime when I'm not sprinting. Double time will allow me to rotate in between shots faster without having to stop attack sprinting, so I think it's really useful. And then just default stuff down there. And this is the same as the MP7 class, except the same purpose if I just want to use an all-purpose weapon. So this is good at close, mid, and long range. A little bit weaker at long range, but it's good at close, mid, and it's okay at long range too. And this is my build for it. The reason why I have the Corvus Custom on it is because this will help me play close and mid range a bit better, compared to if I use the stock M16 Grenadier. Then it would be a lot stronger at long range, but it would lack at close to mid range. And you'll notice I'll also have the custom or the commando foregrip on it to not lower my ADS like I did on the Ranger. So this is more of an all-purpose M4 compared to my other M4 that was quite literally just a cannon. So those are the differences. And then RPG. I could run a knife on this too. A knife wouldn't be bad, so I could actually run around the map. But yeah, this is if I just want to run an AR. Basically, if I just want to slay out and I don't want to take overkill, and I just want to have the stun grenades and I just want to push people like crazy. And then I have this class. This is the same from last video. This is just a fully loaded class. So I have an SMG with fully loaded, which means when I pick up this class, I get full ammo. And then I also have my sniper rifle with fully loaded. So when I pick up my class, this also has full ammo. So if this is like the 5th circle and I come in and I need to load out, I get like respawned in or something like that, or I'm floating with the gulag, I can actually stand a fighting chance when I come back into the game. So, and yeah, that's pretty much it for my classes. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. And now we're going to go into my settings real quick. First things first, I use 4.05 sensitivity with 2000 DPI. The reason why I have 2000 DPI is because I play League, and for League, you need fast clicking, and you need really fast mice movement, and that's just the thing that I left it on when I transferred over, and I've only ever fucked with the sensitivity, so. I know that people like ask me this question on what I use here, but I just I don't touch any of this stuff. So all this stuff is default. People wanted to look at this stuff. I'm not really going to talk about all these settings, but I get hounded every single day on my Twitch chat for this stuff, so I'm just going to include this in the video as well. But I'm just going to scroll through my keybinds. A lot of this stuff is just default, but I'm telling you, people hound me every single day, so. These are all my settings. We're just going to go through them all. Most of these are defaults. There's actually a pretty big setting here that I need to make sure that I show you guys. Now that I'm thinking about it. Alright, well this is where the big stuff actually happens. So field of view 120, you can only do this if you're on PC. ADS field of view, now this is something that a lot of you guys probably don't know about, but if you play on affected, when you zoom in your gun, your character doesn't actually zoom in. It stays zoomed out, so when you shoot your gun, it actually seems like you have no recoil. Now, I don't normally play on the setting. I don't know why it was actually on. I typically play on Independent, which is the classic Call of Duty experience, where when you scope in, your guy was actually, like, your screen will actually get punched in. But there's a player called Huskers who plays on affected, and when you watch him play, that's why it looks like he has zero recoil. It's because he plays on this setting where he doesn't get as much visibility as the other people, but his guns have less recoil. Brightness, usually my brightness is at about 60, 65, but I'm playing on a brand new monitor, and I have brightness settings on my monitor that I touch, so it's a bit more beneficial than using this, but I usually put this at about 60 if I wasn't on this monitor. And I'll put the monitor that I have and my computer specs in the description of the video. You want to put this on so when you start up the game, you don't have to watch the little cutscene or whatever. It's really stupid. Mini map shape, this is a big one that a lot of people probably don't know about, but you want to put it on square, you get way more vision. So this is the same area of the map. Look at how much more you see on the square. So you want to go here, go to general, and you scroll down. You want to do square. All this stuff can stay on. Don't really need this. You want to put packet loss on so you know when to back out. Server latency so you can, you know, when to leave. FPS, all that stuff's good. Render resolution has to be on 100 or you're just going to lag. Frame rate, I don't ever get above 250. I usually sit about 150 to 180. And most of the stuff is just going to be on very low. Even though I have a really, really insane PC, I think this game looks fine without high quality. And characters stand out more when you don't have all the textures turned on all the way because they don't blend in as well, because it's not as realistic, because everything kind of looks a little Play-Doh-y. It doesn't look that bad though. Like if you watch my gameplay on stream, or like even for me, the game actually looks fine. But it is the best to turn the things off. The anti-aliasing, now this is one that I'm not 100% sure if I have the right one on, but this is the one that I have on personally, so yeah. Make sure you have weapon and world motion blur turned off and no film grain. These are absolute awful settings to have on. Depth of field is also quite bad too. Audio, this is a big one. Boost low is without a doubt the best audio mix. This is how I hear everyone. I hear everyone with boost low. It is so insanely good. Highly recommend this. I've used it on release, or since release pretty much, and it is so overpowered. Master volume, put on whatever. This kind of just depends on what your shit's on, like your headset and your computer volume, so all this stuff is whatever. Yeah, none of this stuff really matters, and I don't use controller, so that's basically it for my settings. Hopefully you guys, you know, maybe if you learned something like the map or any of that stuff, then that's great. If you guys want to see another video when Season 5 comes out, maybe another class setup video, let me know in the comments, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Also, I want to mention the fact that I know I didn't upload for like a whole week. That's because I was participating in a League of Legends event, and it was something that I did at the last second, and I do really apologize for missing all that time on Call of Duty. I also haven't been streaming that much, but I promise more content will be coming out, especially with the beginning of Season 5. I hope they nuke the whole fucking map. I know they won't, but a man can dream. So thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like and sub if you haven't already, and if you are hearing me right now, type hi in the comments. Peace, guys.